Okay, let us proceed to the section B of WAEC 2024 Mathematics exam, past exam solution, okay? That is section B. We are done with section A. So, in your exam, you are going to be, especially in mathematics, you are going to be given two sections in the theory, okay? The section A, you have to answer all the question, but section B, you can choose the question to answer. But I'm going to provide solution to all the question, okay? Now, let's look at the first question. Given that x plus 2, 4x plus 3, and 7x plus 24 are consecutive terms of a geometric progression, find the value of x and the common ratio, okay? Let's look at what we are given in the question. We are given that x plus 2, this thing, that is question 6, okay? X plus 2, then 4x plus 3, and 7x plus 24. They are consecutive terms of a geometric progression. Now, pay attention to the word consecutive. Because they are consecutive, they follow each other, you understand? Let's assume that this is the first term. That means that this will be the second term, and this will be the third term. Do you understand? Okay, so when you hear the word consecutive, they follow each other. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? After the first term, the next term is the after the first term, for example, which term comes after the first term? That's second term, right? So let's assume that this is the first term. That means that this will be the second term and this will be the third term. Let's assume that this is a sixth term. This will be the seventh term and this will be the eighth term. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay. Now that is the explanation of the word. When you hear the word consecutive, that means that terms follows each other. Okay. Now we are asked to find the value of x. Now before we can get the value of x, there are some concepts in geometric progression. For example, the common ratio. The common ratio is gotten. Listen. The common ratio is gotten by dividing maybe the second term all over the first term, or the third term all over the second term, or the fourth term all over the third term, and so on. You understand? Okay. So since we know that these are consecutive terms, that means that if I divide this term by this term, it will be equivalent to this term and over this term. Listen to the explanation again. A geometric progression is a kind of progression that differs by a constant common ratio. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? That is, when you take the ratio of the of two successive terms in the geometric progression, you're going to arrive at the same answer. For example, let's say 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm just looking at what I can use. Let's say 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, it's not possible. Let's say we have 3, 6. After 6, we have 12. Okay. Then after 12, we have 24. Now look at this. Let's say this is a geometric progression. You understand? Now, the basic definition of a geometric progression is that they differs by a constant common ratio. Do you understand? Okay. So this is the first term, this is the second term, this is the third term, and this is the fourth term. Now, common ratio is expressed as this: the second term divided by the first term, or the third term divided by the second term. Just take the ratio of the of two successive terms. You are going to obtain your common ratio. Do you understand? So let's check. 6 divided by 3 is what? That is 2, right? 2. 12 divided by 6 is what? 12 divided by 6 is also what? 2. 24 divided by 12 is what? 2. You can see that this is a geometric progression. Why? Because the successive term differs by what? A constant common ratio. Now, back to the question that we are given. We can determine the value of x using the ratio formula. You understand? Let's take the ratio. Let's take the common ratio. Common ratio is equals to T2, which is 4x. I just assume 4x plus 3 all over x plus 2. X plus 2. The common ratio can also be this one, which is 7x plus 24 all over 4x plus 3 as well. Okay, you can see now. Now, because listen to me. Because in a geometric progression, no matter the term that you use, you are going to obtain the same common ratio. You understand? That means that we can set this equals to this. Do you understand? So I'm going to have 4x plus 3 all over x plus 2, yes, equals to 7x plus 24 all over 4x plus 3. Okay, so I'm very sure you understand how I got that. If you didn't understand, maybe you should reverse the video and listen to the explanation again. Okay, now to get the value of x, first take the cross product, you understand? So we're going to have 4x plus 3 multiplied by 4x plus 3 equals to 7x plus 24 multiplied by x plus 2. You understand? I just take the cross product, that is this x plus 2 multiply this, and 4x plus 3 multiply 4x plus 3. Okay, let's go. 4x multiply 4x, that is what? 16x squared. Okay, 4x times 3, that is plus 12x, plus 3 times 4x, that is what? Plus 12x, plus 3 times plus 3, that is what? Plus 9, equals to, okay, for the right hand side of this equation, 7x times x, that is what? 14x, 7x squared, that is 7x squared. Okay, 7x plus 2, 7x times plus 2, that is what? Plus 14x, then plus 24 multiply x, that is what? Plus 24x, then plus 24 multiply plus 2, that is what? Plus 20 plus 48 plus 48. Okay, now from this point we can collect like terms, you understand? And looking at this now, you know that we're going to result into a quadratic equation. I'm very sure you know. Okay, 16x squared. Okay, this 7x squared, let it cross the equals to sign. You're going to have negative 7x squared, yes, then plus 12x. Okay, let's add plus 12x plus 12x, that is what? Plus 24x. So I'm going to have plus 24x. Now 14x plus 24x, that is what? Plus 36x. So I'm going to have, now if this 36x crosses the equals to sign, you're going to have a negative. So I'm going to have minus 36x. You understand? You see, I just sum this together because they both have the same term. I'm collecting like terms, okay? So I sum this together, plus 14x and plus 24x. So I obtain plus 36x. And see, because I have to take all this to the other side, to the left hand side of the equation, I'm going to have negative 36x. Do you understand? Okay. Oh, this will be plus, negative 38, negative 38x. Then for the last one, we have plus 9, and then we have plus 48. If this plus 48 crosses the equals to sign, we are going to have a negative. Okay, so I'm going to have minus 48 equals to 0. Now 16x squared minus 16x squared minus 7x squared, that is what? 9x squared, right? So I'm going to have 9, let me change the marker here, 9x squared. Okay, let's proceed. Plus 24x minus 38x, that is what? Minus 14x, okay? Minus 14x, okay? Now, for the last one, we have plus 9 minus 48, that is what? Minus 39. Minus 39 equals to 0. Now, we have obtained this quadratic equation. We can solve this quadratic equation using any of the method that you know. You can use the general formula or quadratic formula, and you can use completing the square or factorization method. But here I'm going to factorize. Okay, if you want to solve this quadratic equation using the factorization method, we're going to have 9x squared minus 27x plus 13x minus 39 equals to 0. Okay, so we can factorize, divide it into two parts. Now, what is common to 9x squared and 27x? That is what? 9x, right? Yes. 9x multiplied by x minus 3. Okay. Now, what is common to plus 13x and 39? That is plus 13. Okay. Plus 13 multiplied by x minus 3. Okay. So, equals to 0. Now, I'm going to have 9x plus 13 equals to 0 and x minus 3 equals to 0. Now, for this, I'm going to have 9x equals to minus 13. Yes, 9x equals to minus 13 and x equals to 3. So to get the value of x here, I'm going to divide both sides by 9. So I'm going to have x equals to negative 13 all over 9, or x equals to 3. Now, having gotten the value of x are this. Now, we are asked to find the common ratio. Don't forget that the common ratio is this over this or this over this. You can use any value. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? You can use any expression of this among these. You see, if you are well versed with geometric progression, you will discover that no matter the successive term that you use, you are going to obtain a single answer. You understand? So if you use this value, you are going to obtain the same answer as well as this. Now, because we have a quadratic equation that we solve and get the roots, which are 2. Now, you are going to substitute each values of x in any of these common ratio. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So let's start with negative 13 over 9. When x is negative 13 over 9, we're going to obtain the common ratio. So just pay attention. So let us use the first one, okay? Let's use the first one now. So let's erase this. Now, when x is 13 over 9 and negative 13 over 9, I'm going to have r is equals to, we're going to have r is equals to 4 multiplied by negative 13 over 9 plus 3 all over negative 13 over 9 plus 2. Do you understand? All I did was that I just replaced the value of x as negative 13 over 9. You know, we obtained two values of x, so we are going to have two common ratio. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So when x is negative 13 over 9, we want to find the common ratio at the value of x. Now, 4 multiplied by 13, you're going to have r equals to negative 52 minus 52 all over 9. Okay, well, you can take the LCM directly, so that will be minus 52 plus 3 over 1, then divided by, now for you are going to have minus 13 all over 9 plus 2 all over 1. Do you understand? Okay, so for this you are going to have, what is the LCM of this? I'm going to have 9 minus 52 plus 27. That is the numerator. I'm dealing with the numerator now, okay? And the biggest division sign here, what's the LCM of this and this? That is what? 9. 9. Okay, that is minus 13 plus 18. Do you understand? I just take the LCM and then I simplified. Now, when you get to this point, you can rearrange the equation by changing the division signs to a multiplication sign. So, we're going to have some, okay, let me clean this. Minus 52 plus 27 all over 9 divided by minus 13 plus 18 all over 9. You understand? Okay, now minus 52 plus 27, that is what? Minus 25. Okay, so I'm going to have minus 25 all over 9. Now, if you change this to multiplication sign, you're going to have multiplied by 9 all over minus 13 plus 18. That is what? 5. So this over 5. Now, this 9 will cancel this 9, and this 5 here, negative 5. So the answer when x is negative 13 over 9, the common ratio is minus 5. Do you understand? Okay. Now we are still going to solve for when x is 3. Okay. So I want you to pay attention. Now when x is 3, we are going to have r is equals to 4 multiplied by 3 plus 2 all over 3 plus 2. Do you understand? Don't forget the value of x. The value of x are what? Negative 13 over 9 or 3. Okay, that's the value of x. Now, we have already gotten the common ratio when x is negative 13 over 9, which is what? Negative 5. Now, I want to find the value of the common ratio when x is 3. And that means that we are going to substitute the value of x as 3 into this. So I'm going to have 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is what? 12. 12 plus 2 all over 5. Okay. Oh, this should be 3. Sorry. This should be 3. 4x plus 3, you know. So when x is 3, I'm going to have 4 times 3 plus 3. Okay. So this will be 3. Now, 12 plus 3. That is what? 15, right? 15 divided by 5. That is what? 3. Okay. So when x is negative 13 over 5, the common ratio is what? Minus 5. Okay. And when x is 3, the common ratio is 3. Do you understand? Okay, so that is the solution to that question. And that's the solution to that question. I'm very sure you understand it. If you are given this kind of question, see, let me tell you, let me give you an advice. If you are solving any question in exam, it is what you are given that you're going to use to look for what you are told to find. You understand? You know, we are given this successive term, this consecutive term of the GP, and I've already explained what is meant by consecutive term. Now, we know that if you divide this by this, we're going to obtain the common ratio. Likewise, if you divide this by this, you're going to obtain the common ratio. And for every geometric progression, they have a constant common ratio, which is the ratio between two successive terms in the GP. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So now, having gotten that, we just form a quadratic equation and solve for the value of x. When you are done with that, you replace those values into the formula that you got to get the common ratio. You can see now, it's simple. So kindly pay attention to the details of the question when solving question, especially in exam, okay? Okay, now let's proceed to the second question. The second question, the seventh question, which is the second question for section B. Now, we are given the table shows the ages of 20 children in a household. Given that x ratio y equals to 1 ratio 2, find the values of x and y. That's the first question. And the second question, we are asked to find the mean age of the children. Now, before you go, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also make sure you like and share the video to your friends, okay? And also don't forget to give me feedback. Tell me what you learned in the video. Tell me what you learned in the course of the class. Tell me what you don't understand also. And in addition, tell me the topics that you want to learn, the topics that you don't understand, okay? God will help you in your forthcoming exam. See you in the next class.